I decided to talk today about the application Explain Everything because it has so many different things you can do in it. One thing, because of the time limitations on this particular presentation, I chose to incorporate just one of the really cool aspects of the application Explain Everything. And that's how it allows you to import all sorts of different things to implement or to augment, I should say, your presentation. And in my case, I'm going to import pictures from my library, specifically from my Google Drive or my G Drive library, pictures that I've uploaded into my personal account. The person that you see pictured here is going to be the focus of what I want to talk about today. The gentleman's name is Marion Lacey. He was my great uncle. He was an incredible photographer. The reason why I became really interested or re-interested in his photography is because I made a visit not too long ago, just a couple of weeks ago literally, to the hospital in Whitefish, Montana. It's a beautiful hospital, brand new, very closely to it anyways. And in one of the halls where they have the patients after they do the surgeries, etc., they have a series of photographs that are part of a collection of Marion Lacey, my Uncle Marion, the man you see pictured here. I knew Uncle Marion when I was a kid, and he was a very interesting individual. He was a phenomenal photographer, very successful. He actually has a couple of his photographs still to this day on display at the Smithsonian Institute in Washington, D.C. And they have part of their display is a portion of his collection. And so what I did is while I was there, I went and took pictures of the pictures that he had taken that are on display. And I want to kind of show you, explain everything, the ability of this application to import pictures using the pictures that he has displayed at the hospital in Whitefish. So to begin with, what I want to do is just go ahead and add a couple of pictures before, or at least one picture before I start actually showing you what you can do with the application Explain Everything. Because what in reality what you can do, there's so many different things that you can manipulate with this particular application with the pictures that you're installing. What I just did is I installed one of the paintings, or no, I'm sorry, not one of the, it looks like a painting, but one of the pictures that is hung in the hallway at the hospital at Whitefish. So this is one of his very famous photographs. And what I would like to do is show you that by manipulating things on your Explain Everything palette board, you can just do really cool things. Now I just made this my background. I can do anything on this I want, but I can do so many things with that background as well. You see that it kind of goes over the top. It layers the last picture that you had on there. So I can make this really small, put it up in a corner and say, look, this is one of my Uncle Marion's pictures. Or I can take it down, make it big, and make it my backdrop as well. And do everything I want to do within the Explain Everything application on top of that. So it doesn't matter what you want to do, you're able to with this particular application. The real purpose for this actual video is to kind of display some of the pictures that I really loved of my Uncle Marion. So that's kind of why I'm going to take the time to display a couple more. What he did was actually go through nature in the northwestern Montana arena and took the most fabulous pictures. And this is one of, and very many of them really pertain to Whitefish Lake itself. It was a place he just loved. Now again, we have a picture that he took that is hanging in the hallway at the hospital that depicts that nature setting that he loves so much. But I do want to say a few things about this. Again, remember, you have this picture on top of another picture. Put it up here and let's talk about this picture. We can make it small too. So now we have two pictures and we can put them side by side move them around, make them smaller, make them bigger, whatever we want. But as far as what we're working with as an application, we can choose. We have him, we have two of his pictures. So let's go with the latest one we just did. We can make it larger and make that our background. Now we can add things like text and talk about things like the little brown dog jumped over the lazy red fox, or whatever the case may be. You can do all of these things within the application on top of what you just imported. It's a very cool part of what we're doing. However, that's not really what I want to have as far as the presentation we're talking about here. I just wanted to show you the function. So we're going to get rid of that. We're just going to hit the back button that's afforded to us and get rid of what we just put in there, so we can do at least one more picture. And the only reason I really want to do this is because this was sort of inspirational to me. I really loved what he did. And so I added to his collection one of the pictures that I took literally on the way home from seeing those pictures on the wall at that hospital. So I'm going to incorporate the picture that I took and show you how something that this is Swan Lake. This is on the way home to Helena from Whitefish, Montana. And in Swan Lake is also a gorgeous picture. Now I have a picture on top of his pictures that I can use. I can use my laser tool within this application and show a route that I'd probably want to go fishing, or whatever the case may be. I can draw different types of arrows and lines and circles, geometric figures basically, on there, and have that as what I want to actually use to teach a lesson, for example. But the other thing I can do is, again, as we talked about before, I can make mine small. I can make his small and put them maybe up in the corner, and make this one smaller as well, put them there. And then now what do I have? I have a collection of his pictures along with one of my pictures, and I just think that's really cool, even though his pictures were far more dynamic than mine.